Carolyne Ekyarisiima, and I'm a 2016 Mandela Washington Fellow, and I'm the founder of Apps and Girls. Apps and Girls is a social enterprise that teaches girls below 18, between 10 to 18 years, how to code and how to become tech entrepreneurs. Yeah, from the business side, we provide IT consulting services to small businesses and also corporate companies. That's right.
Okay, so Ekyarisiima is a different name from what we're used to, so tell us where you're from and how life was growing up.
Okay. Yeah, by nationality I'm Ugandan. Yeah, I was born and raised in Uganda. I studied in Uganda to university. Graduated in computer science, and though my dream was always like to become a doctor, but it didn't happen, I ended up in computer science. Yeah, and when I graduated, I was recruited by my university to become a tutorial assistant, and then that's when I moved to Dar es Salaam here because they had a branch here, Kampala International University, Dar es Salaam College, and so I was working there as tutorial assistant as well as studying my master's in information systems, and later on I upgraded to an assistant lecturer. Yeah, and at some time in 2014 then I quit to concentrate on apps and girls.
Yeah. So how did you come up with the concept of apps and girls? What opportunity or what gap did you see that pushed you to start up apps and girls?
Okay. So it began when I started actually lecturing. That time when I was also doing as a tutorial assistant. I remember by then we had me and my husband is right there, is Mr. Wilhelm. So he had a program he was running that teaches university students how to get access to the new trends in coding, like the new languages which had come up by then, and he would help them get the skills that they were not getting in school. So I used to help him because I was also in the same field, he was also in the IT field. So by then we were using the university facilities until we got a house. But in all his sessions, all the sessions we were doing together, we realized we had very few girls. Sometimes it would be 3, they never exceeded like 5, 3. So even going back to my classes from diploma, certificate up to bachelor, sometimes you find a class there's no girl in that class. And like I remember by then in 2013 the whole department in the IT department they had only 26 girls out of 130 something students. So it really made me feel like there's a real gap, there's a gap here, like why aren't we having more young women taking up IT courses? And I wanted I'm a woman in front of the class and teaching, and you find you have only 2 girls. It really gets you thinking why is it like this? And then there's also another time I remember working at Buni. We were competing from a soccer challenge, but out of almost 20 participants, were only 2 ladies who pitched our products. And then a colleague of mine who was very much used to ask me why, what happened to the female gender, why are women also involved in staffs competing with this in these innovation challenges like this. And I realized it was very true, also going back to my experience as a teacher. So that's when then I decided I should do something to change that. So that's where my staff came from, because I wanted at least to see also more women who are doing many things in tech, the guys that we were doing.
Okay, but then, so why is it important to have more women in tech, other than just the gap that you noticed? Why is it important to have more women in technology?
Okay, having more women in tech is very, very important because personally I believe women are the future of Africa or even the whole world, because they're capable of doing great stuff. So if they have the tech skills with them, if they are able to use like technology to create different stuffs and to use it in their daily lives, not only just on social media, but use it to create different products solving community challenges, I think it's something which is going to change our country, to change our Africa, because yesterday I was listening to the Human Development Report of 2015, and it indicated that women more like 87% they have achieved like their contribution to human development in all of Africa. And the time when I was in Reno, that was in the YALI, during YALI, I realized like most startups which were women-led were more successful than startups which were led by males. So this tells us that women have the great capacity to create more stuffs which are going to help like change the economic status of our country or even of our continent. And also women, they're the ambassadors who can inspire an innovative generation in our country. For example, like if Cynthia has children and she's a coder or she's someone who is using technology every day, innovating different stuffs, that means the same skill like will be like, it will inspire her children too, and also motivate the husband to do the same, because she's the one who spends much time with the family, you know, as a woman. And so it's like something which will change completely our continent if we have very many women who are creating or who are coding or who are using technology to do different stuff. That's like how I believe. Yeah.
So starting Ups and Girls as a foreigner, how was that experience for you, and what challenges did you face, if there are any?
First of all, it was when I started, I just had a student pass because I was studying masters. So as an East African or someone from Uganda, you're given a student pass which you had to pay for by then, but that student pass, you're not allowed to work, you're not allowed to have a company. So it was so challenging, like I couldn't register it. I had to, my husband had to help, and we had to use most of the time we had. Even opening a bank account, I couldn't open a bank account because of that, like a company bank account. So I had to use like my husband's name, and he would do everything on behalf of me, such that I'd be able to access different resources or different services from the bank, even from other institutions, just because of my nationality. And also thinking of like getting a citizenship is also very expensive. $5,000 is not something a startup would manage like to have. And so it is like a very challenging thing, because even up to now it's still challenging, because sometimes have like even sometimes like there's some banks which can't give me a loan just because of my Ugandan passport, and there are some awards like which I have lost just because I'm not a Tanzanian. Yeah, and sometimes I wonder, like, there's nothing that I'm doing for Uganda. Everything is like here, you know. But you find like you can't access some stuff, yet it's for the company, but just because of your nationality and stuff. Yeah, so it's very challenging, in that part.
Okay. What other challenges have you faced with Ups and Girls, starting Ups and Girls, running Ups and Girls in the past 3 years?
Okay, so from starting up, we started in a humble way in the living room. We didn't have a space. We were just operating just in a sitting room, training girls there, and so we had limited resources, funding. We didn't have enough computers by then. Up to now, we don't have enough because the demand is still very high, and we really want to reach more girls, even up country. But still the resources are not enough, the funding is not enough. And at first we experienced like, you know, like some parents were like scared to let the girls to join the program because they thought at a certain point that like they're just coming to use like YouTube or to use, you know, they know like technology is not all about watching funny videos or chatting. They thought they didn't know it's beyond that you can do even beyond that. So that was also one of the challenges, because we had some of the girls like pulled out of the program by their parents because they thought they are not safe. And yeah, so yeah, I think those were the challenges that we experienced.
Okay.
Yeah, and some of them we still experience them. Yeah.
All right. So maybe tell us how you reached the girls at the beginning with Absent Girls. How did you come to recruit the girls, to train the girls, and what has your impact been so far?
Okay, so like I said, we started so humbly in our living room with just 20 girls. By then I was still working as an assistant lecturer, and what I used to do was to borrow computers from my students, and also he had students, so I used to borrow computers and we carried them in backups. We didn't have a car, we just carry them, we go to our living room and we train the girls, and then after that we had to take them back to our source stressing. And then that's when like we decided like, what if we started teaching women like around like how to like digital literacy, like how to use internet in their phones, how to create emails, how to Google, how to use the free gigabytes that they were getting. So we spread the word just through word of mouth, and we managed to get 20 women at the first beginning. And he helped to teach them because I was not really good at Swahili, because there are women who wouldn't understand English, and we had to translate everything into Swahili. But that money helped us to move to a coding school, to create a coding school in Mtazori Secondary School. And so at least I was not using my salary now to cover all the costs. I had that income, and that's the program which we continue to do, which was generating income for some of the programs. And later on in 2014 is when Absent Girls won the Reach for Change, Tigo and Reach for Change competition, and we had like $25,000 of funding. And then that's when like we started now spreading into different schools, creating coding clubs. We started mentoring them. Every Saturday we would meet the girls and mentor them and help them to create different solutions. Yeah, and because of now of Reach for Change, now we started gaining like credibility, so other funding opportunities kept on coming in, and right now we've worked with 1,045 girls that we've trained, and we have almost like 40 girls in our incubator who already have projects whom they are working on, and out of those we have almost like 15 who are already implementing whatever they've designed, and others have won grants, others have got like famous, like no, it's like different sponsorships.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you tell us about some of the girls?
Okay, like one girl is Modesta Joseph. Last year she won Tanzania City Innovation Fund worth 10 million shillings because of her system she developed. The system is called Our Cries, which helps students to report the cries that the harassments they experience when they're using daladalas. So through her system they send different experiences they get, and she forwards them to Sumatra, and Sumatra is supposed to take action on that. So far she has created more than 200 cries just from her online platform, and she has different boxes which she has put in schools to collect other cries. She just turned 17, I think, last month. Yeah. And then another one is Winnie Godlove. She also just turned 18 last month, I think. Yeah, last month. For her, she is working on a project that helps fistula victims, like young girls who got fistula. So she helps them with she helps them with to develop their business. Not like no, it's that she fundraises for income which she can give, like seed capital for them to start up something, because already in their community they are already victimized, they are neglected. So after being treated, going back, life will always be bad. So she wants them to regain their dignity and have something they can earn from and take care of their families and take care of themselves. So Winnie is now in South Africa. Because of what she has been doing, her project, she won a scholarship to study at African Leadership Academy, and she left actually in September. Yeah, so she's enrolled there for pre-university and also university. She's scheduled to study at Stanford University in US, and her dream of becoming a computer scientist is going to be true. Yeah, yeah, and there are so many. I could add another one. Yeah.
Okay, so, add one more.
Yeah, one more is she's called Aisha Abbas. She's also 17. She's in Form 5, and Aisha Abbas participated in the Junior Academy, New York Junior Academy of Sciences, and she was among of the 6 teams that were selected to participate in the STEM Alliance Summit in New York. So in July she was in New York, and her team, they developed a very innovative bottle which you can use, which is like biodegradable, I think. I don't know the terms, yeah, but after use it can shrink, and it's not like the normal plastic. Yeah. So her team was awarded as #1, so she won some money from there and different awards from PepsiCo, and yeah. And also right now, 2 weeks from now, she'll be going to South Africa because she's an Anzisha finalist who has been selected. She's the only Tanzanian going, and she's the youngest in all the finalists that they've been selected. Yeah.
So you're like a proud mom.
I'm very, very, very proud. Yeah. I feel yeah.
So I know you've mentioned humble beginnings a couple of times, and I just wanted to, if you could tell us a little bit about your business model while running Ups and Girls, before you got or even after you got the funding from Tigo and Reach for Change. Okay. How did you manage with the little that you had?
Okay, yeah. First of all, the beginning, the only thing I had was just my skills, and a supportive partner who also had the skills. So to top up on that, we used friends whom we had in our network who could borrow us computers, for example, at events. I remember Jumanne, the manager of here, volunteered 4 laptops for us to use by then and gave us a free venue and free publicity. So it's something all that I did was to use the resources that were available for us, which were cheap. Most of them were free. Even we had mentors who were, just because they loved what we were doing, they just volunteered their time to help us grow and grow and grow. Yeah, and also I was using coding clubs which are in schools, which I wouldn't pay for, and the only expense which was there were the volunteers that I used, but of which most of them were my students. So even if the funds were out, they would really understand because they believed in my vision. Yeah, and because also it's not that I just hired them just to work for me, but I also wanted to develop them, to help them also come up with their startup. So it's like I was giving them another value of working for Ups and Girls. Yeah, so that's one thing that kept us going and helping us to reach 22 coding clubs right now. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, also the hub, we operated in a living room for until I think until late this year. It's when we moved it to somewhere else where we're paying rent right now. But still, we've got space in Jangwani and Kisutu, which is free to use. So that's something which is helping me cut the costs. Yeah, for absent girls.
Okay. I know you've spoken about that you're a YALI fellow and you are also a Tigo Reach for Change change maker.
Yeah.
So how do such programs help entrepreneurs, and is it good for entrepreneurs to try out for these programs, and what will they gain from it?
Okay, so like Reach for Change, before when I was starting, I actually didn't have any skill in business. I didn't know even if what I was doing was social entrepreneurship. I didn't know that. All I knew is that I wanted to set up something to help the young women develop different startups on their own and to get the skills that they needed to reach there. So, but joining Reach for Change, it's not all about funding, because you get to be in the incubation where you get a lot of mentoring, and you get a lot of as in they help to shape you onto the right path. Like the first time once you're selected, you always have a workshop where they work one-on-one with you from the beginning, restructuring everything from step one up to the last. And every year it happens. Every year you have to sit with them, and they know your goals, and they help you to shape it until to have what you have to report on, you have to work on, if it's communication, if it's this, and if you need anything, then you mention, and then one of the experts, either from Sweden or from the African team, or also from Tigo, they always come in and give the skills that you need. So sometimes they are tailored according to different change makers. And also it's an opportunity which gives you much credibility also. And they host international events where you get free tickets, free travel tickets to attend and to participate. And they have a great network of funders, of sponsors, some people who can help. Yeah, they're always there whenever, even if you need a recommendation, even if you need one, they're always there.
Yeah.
It's because of them that actually Absent Girls has reached where we are now. Yeah, and then talking about YALI, it's one of the amazing experience in education that I had ever had. I was in in Nevada, at University of Nevada, and the people that we met there, they were when you reach there, everybody is treating you very nicely, and as if you're so smart, and they made sure we access every business opportunity that we wanted. Even if you say I want to meet so and so, they made sure they made it happen. And also we had different field trips to different companies in different sectors, in mining, in agriculture, in tech, in innovation hubs, everything, and different companies. We got sessions from different experts from Silicon Valley, from experienced businessmen who were there, and also that there's a big connection, because the main thing which they wanted is for us to collaborate with young entrepreneurs also who are working there. So everybody has had a specific they call them peer collaborators, the same age with us, and they're already having 2 companies or 1 company or 3. So you find you build the friendship that will last and can end up into partnerships. And also now talking on the African fellows also who were there, they are also doing amazing stuff, of which with their network you have big experience to learn from, and also you have a great connection. If you need any help, they're always there. So it's they create a family of both American and African team, which is willing to help. So right now some are already working with other American people, and you also have partnerships with other American fellows whom we are now working with. Yeah, others are just volunteering to help us and girls get more computers, to help like develop our franchising model because we want to expand. So it's a great opportunity, and it's a very something like, even if you're just a coder, or even if you just run a simple business, it's something which once you go through it, you will never be the same like you were before. Yeah.
So would you advise people to apply to this program?
I would like 100%. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
So I know Apps and Girls is not the only project or business that you started. You started another business. Maybe can you tell us, or projects that you started, tell us a little bit about that and why you started that project.
Okay. So like currently I'm working on an application called Kumbe, so a statistic portal for education. We'll be working with Taweza. So that one is still young, but before, even before, I think Apps and Girls was young, and there's this Mama Toto project that I began just because I was a young mom, the first time mom, and I experienced different hardships, you know, like you hear from this, and my parents were in Uganda, had nobody here, just like new people. So I felt like there's like a need for a platform to help young moms to go through that motherhood, you know, experience. So that's when I started Mama Toto, and yeah, it was catching up. I had a system, I already had the doctors in place to answer questions, and like I was using my doctor, and he was like offering the services for free. Yeah, and then things were going well, and then it's when also Apps and Girls was catching up, it's when it got the funding, and then I was like, okay, so let me try to do all the things at once. But in the end, I ended up like pausing Mama Toto and now concentrating on Apps and Girls. Yeah, but it's something I'm passionate about, and actually my husband did a thesis about it, and he's developing an application for it. So I think it will resurrect soon.
So how do you are a mom?
Yeah.
You're a wife. You're also a mom to these young girls and a trainer. You run a business. How do you balance all that at once? And when do you say like, I'm done?
Okay, so yeah, I have 2 kids, and the youngest is 1 year, and he really needs me, and I have a husband, I have like hundreds and hundreds of girls to work with, and I also, because I work with my husband also, he also has his children, other children in his program, so I also have to work with him and his children, and the 2 of them are here actually, those 2. Yeah, so it's not really easy, I can say, because it needs a lot of time. Yeah. And as someone who is self-employed, you expect that sometimes you sacrifice a lot of, like you spend a lot of time working. But one thing that helps me is because like me and my husband, we're doing something we love, and we understand like each other's visions. Like I know where he wants to reach, and he knows where I want to be. So it's like someone, like we remind ourselves, like when things are not working and I'm almost giving up, he's there like to really, like, you know, that punch that brings you back on the right path. Yeah. But another thing is that it's like, you know, that people we work with is like a family, you see. It's the culture that we have in our organization is something which like has changed everything, or has like helped me to reach where I am today, and it helps me not to give up, because the people that we work with, they're the ones who step in sometimes when we don't have time. For example, if new people come at the lab, we always have volunteers to teach them, and those are the people we started teaching long time ago. And looking at coding clubs right now, the same students we started with are the ones like running the coding clubs. We take an example of Asha that I mentioned. Aisha and Francis, they are running a coding club of 74 students at Benjamin Secondary School, and of which that one would have costed us money. Yeah, but they understand the vision of our, it's like we communicated it into them, so they know where we want to reach, so they're also working towards it.
Yeah.
And they're also helping in marketing. We don't market our services, especially the social services, but the business side, of course, we do. Yeah, but they help us by word of mouth, referring different people. So every Saturday we get new people, every Saturday coming to join the program. When they go to their schools, every time they have people. Yeah. And also having mentors is one thing that has really helped me and saved me from making many mistakes. Yeah, because sometimes there's a certain point I really felt like after winning the money, the first thing is to set up an office around Posta and have an office where people can come. But they asked me, do you think is the first thing you really need is an office? And I knew, I really needed an office. But they asked me, so who is your client who's going to come to your office? So it's like a mistake I would have made if I didn't have someone to guide me. So having like mentors who believing in my vision also helps. Okay.
So what's your plan? What's next with Ups and Girls? And then
Okay. So I have big dreams and goals for Ups and Girls, because I really want to see like almost every girl in Tanzania being able to use technology. I want to see many female-led startups being created here in Tanzania, because that's what is going to improve our economic status. Yeah. And so right now what we're doing is setting up a girls hub, just a girls tech hub, just something like this, but equipped with all the equipment that someone needs to code, someone needs to start a business. And also I'm also working with people from US whom I met, the Entrepreneurship Assembly. It's a group of mentors who are willing to provide their services for free to young entrepreneurs in technology. So at the hub we'll have those services, and we have different events, and I plan it to be something like, which will include also university ladies, because sometimes you finish university and you don't have like the current skill set. You finish like computer science, but you don't know how to develop a mobile application, of which those are the kind of stuffs which are needed in the market right now. So like something like that, and which can connect different students also for internships and also for employment. Yeah, and we look forward to expand Ups and Girls. Like now we are working with someone to expand Ups and Girls in Zanzibar and in Moshi. So we look forward to create more Ups and Girls hubs in the country, and also to franchise in different countries. Yeah, we already have people who are interested in that. Yeah, and another thing, I'm working with a lady whom I met in YALI from South Africa. So we are planning on having Girls Who Code Summit, which will like support girls who code and who are in tech entrepreneurship. Yeah, in all over Africa. So we are also working on that. So yeah, and finally I think I'll build like a girls code academy here in Tanzania, which will collect girls from all over Africa or East Africa to come and learn coding during holidays. And yeah, something which like maybe we may have the Silicon Valley, which is female-led here in Tanzania.
You would love that.
Yeah.
Maybe Mark Zuckerberg will now come.
Yeah, because we are tired of people visiting other countries. Yeah. Everybody's going to Kenya, everybody's going to Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa. Maybe it's the time someone has to come
to Tanzania.
Yeah, even if you look at these giant tech companies, most of them are not here. But when you go to Kenya, they're always there. And sometimes when you want to partner with them, they say, we don't have an office in Tanzania. But why?
Yeah.
Because we don't have the right people to work for them sometimes. Yeah, that was one of the reasons they gave me. Yeah. Yeah, so.
Right. Okay, thank you, Caroline. I think those are the questions, all the questions I had. I'm sure the audience has some questions. So we'll just welcome a few questions from the audience.
Thank you, Caroline. You have a very inspiring story, and I have a very curious question. Who's your role model? Who are you looking up to in doing everything that you're doing right now?
Okay. There's my role models have been changing over time and time. Like when I was young, I used to look at it's an engineer Winnie Byanyima. She's a Ugandan and she's a very powerful woman. She works with she was working with the World Bank. Yeah, she's the wife to Kizza Besigye. So she's one of the first women MPs that we had in our country, and who are also, she's a woman in engineering. Yeah, but later on now, this lady, she's called, she's the founder of Ushahidi. She's, I'm forgetting the name here. It's weird, yeah. But because of her, like, you know, creating something, a lady creating something in East Africa, and it goes global, and people are using it even outside Africa. It's something so huge, and that's like something that I really want to create. I may not develop an application that does that, but I want to create like something like a company or a social enterprise that is doing that. That's something which will go global. So I always look at her and I say one day I'll be that lady. Yeah. But I also have, like, recently I got someone who he's a male. He's called Tony Shea. He's the founder of Zappos. If you read about Zappos' story, it's you know, starting from a situation where they don't have money into a billionaire company. It's very inspiring, and meeting him was just a down-to-earth guy and very humble, and looking at how he shaped Zappos and developed the culture of the company and everything. So business-wise, I look at that guy, and like I'm following all his steps to develop a consultants company to be like one of the best like company providing good services to their customers.
Oh, there's one behind you.
Okay. Caroline, your dreams and your goals for you to such inspiration.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to know girls for how long and what charity actually must be very involved in technology, especially with few girls in technology. And how do you see your way to obtain those girls?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I started Apps and Girls in late. It was in July 2013. By then it was just an idea. And then it moved on, being developed until it became a solid social enterprise. Yeah, so far I would count 3 years now. And one of the reasons that I think most women or girls, they are not involving themselves in tech is because one is like, if you look at Tanzania in general, it could be the resources, because some students, even they're at university and they don't have computers and they're studying computer science, you know. Yeah, and looking at also the education at the university, it is always shallow, they don't go deep. So to be able to succeed and be able to develop something, you have to invest much time in yourself. So if you can't do that, if you don't have the right resources, if you don't have like a computer, if you know, and And another thing is also like the stereotype. We still have that stereotype that girls, they cannot excel in STEM subjects. Yeah, I've met like some of the girls, and even their teachers have told them that, like, you girls, you can never, like, you're not going to do well in math. We should expect F's and yeah, you know, something like that. And as a child, you know, when someone, like at that age, some things really affect some, like at your age now or my age, something may not really affect me in what I want to do, but if someone is young and faces such stuffs, they really change their mindset, and it's really, sometimes it keeps growing and growing. And yeah, and another thing is also they, like, we have very few role models of females who have like developed different stuffs in technology right here in Tanzania. Someone whom people can look up to and get inspired, like, I want to be like this one, you see. And like a young girl in secondary school and starts planning her steps, like, I really want to be like so and so, and be able to develop this or have this or do greater than this. You see, like me myself, when I was growing, there's nobody I knew who was in computer science or in tech field. Actually, even I didn't know like what will you become if you study computer science. It's something I came to find out when I reached at university. So even the awareness, even like the digital literacy that we have ourselves in the country, the illiteracy, you find we don't know like what's beyond just using social media, you see, and especially our parents. Sometimes, so that limits them to, but this goes to all genders, not only girls. So it limits them to involve their children at a young age into different tech stuffs, which can like spark their mind to start, you know, enrolling themselves in such courses, or even if they don't do IT courses, but they have that interest of creating something in tech. So some are general and others are specifically for females. Yeah, and looking at my goals, yeah, I'm really working so hard, like partnering with different people. Yeah, like partnering with the woman who is in South Africa who is also doing the same, and also working with different mentors, and also try to reach out to the Ministry of Education, also on Science and Technology, and also working with like places like this where we can get like trainers, where we can get mentors like from Buni. That's like what I'm doing to achieve my goals. Yeah.
May I comment?
Yes.
I think you will women who are graduates IT technology graduates, but I think most of them are probably in different organizations, companies. They're still doing IT, but they don't have big roles like you. I think we have a challenge with our sisters in Tanzania. They are attitude. I'm not very sure they can achieve big things like what's really growing. I think you can start working attitude with the little girls. You can start sharing the attitude toward technology.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Mara. So I got like 2 questions to ask you, because first, nobody's talking about joining a program, so I want my little sister, who she's now 15, to join your program. So I want to ask, like, what's the schedule, the progress for the sign up? Maybe there is a fees, also your location, maybe there is a session for the program maybe to start, because she's now at the school, she's studying Alpha boarding school. So if there is maybe a program on the holidays for them to join. Another question, you talk about Mandela Fellowship, and I saw there is this, I think there is now registration for the new people to go. So I want us to give the experience for maybe the application for people like Curtis the system right there for them to participate in those programs because they already have something to show for their standards. So things like that. Thank you.
Thank you. About joining Absent Girls, your sister is very warmly welcome. And I don't know where Alpha is, but if it's in our reach, since we are moving all over schools, we could pass by and create a club there. But we have a girls' code camp in December. Yeah, immediately after school. The application forms will be online on our Facebook page, and there's a fee, so you find it on the application form also. Yeah, it's for teaching girls mobile apps development. Yeah, so that's what the whole camp will be, and after that they'll be able to participate in Innovation Challenge, Technovation Challenge, which is a global event. Yeah. So about YALI, usually the questions change every year. Like the questions that I did, they're different right now. But like me, how I would look at it is that you just be yourself, you share your big dreams, you see, those big dreams which even scare you, just share them, because usually they are looking for leaders. And if you're in business, of course you're a leader. If you're working somewhere, of course you're a leader. You know, they want to develop such people who are going to change our community. Yeah, but yeah, it's like being true and, you know, sharing what you're passionate about. And like if it's your business Curtis, you could talk more about it and how you look at it, like after like maybe 5 years, like where you want to be. And also like after gaining that experience, like what are you going to do like for your country? Also that one matters, because it's a question which never misses. Yeah, because they don't want to give someone like knowledge and then you come back, it's just only for you. Yeah, so it's all about that and understanding. I always apply many applications for Absent Girls. Some I win, some I lose, but that most thing that I always do before I apply, I understand exactly what they need, which kind of thing are they looking for, and then when I'm answering, I twist them to that specific thing. Yeah, so sometimes it's luck, sometimes it's not. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Carolyne, for your nice story. My name is Frederick, and I just have one question to ask you. Now, focusing on the Tanzanian society, I just wanted your views on the demand of coding in Tanzania. As you said earlier, that you have it's more than 2 years experience in coding, right? Now, I just wanted to know your views on the demand of coding in our actual society in Tanzania. If I say actual society in Tanzania, speaking of the large population in Tanzania, for your views, do you see that they really need coding? To what extent do they need coding?
Okay. Thank you, Frederick. Like, according to the actual society of Tanzania, I think everybody needs coding, because in the years to come, those are the things they will be facing. And why do I say they need coding? I think everybody is experiencing a problem in their life. But if you know coding, it's something you can solve using, you know, like you can learn how to code and solve any problem that you're experiencing. Coding, it may be even more than coding. We can take it to Internet of Things, where you develop different devices which are helping, which are solving different challenges. In Tanzania, we have very many problems everywhere. Even if you ask Mariam, you might find Buni also has a problem, you see. But so all those problems, they are looking for a solution. And the most like cheap solution, which is available, most like cheap way of how to solve a problem, is using technology. Because it's easy, it can reach many people. That's one. And another thing, it's like the evolution of technology is taking place everywhere, and other countries are adopting it. For example, Rwanda is taking it on. Kenya is also moving ahead. So if Tanzania will keep being left behind, then even the economic development is not going to develop. So I think we really need it because it's the best way that we can use to solve the problems. And if you, it doesn't mean that if you learn coding, you just code things that you love. No, you code, like you code for change, you know, you code to solve a particular problem, to help make lives of people better. So we badly need coding, everybody, the whole generation. Even if you're young, even if you're old, you really need to get involved. And even if you're not interested, but you can support someone who is doing that coding. Like Madame is in media, she can support by promoting someone who is coding something which is changing the community. Yeah.
All right. I see that the questions are there any questions? No. Okay. So I think we're done with the Q&A. Caroline, thank you so much for coming to speak with us. We usually give a present.
Oh,
Yes. So we're giving you a set of Brian t-shirts.
okay, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
So beautiful.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Thank you.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming. I really appreciate it. I hope you learned and were inspired by Caroline's story as much as we were. All right. Let's clap for Caroline.